Amy, a tumultuous last few weeks around the globe. Paris, Beirut, wow, just a lot going on. Our resident member of the Congressional Foreign Affairs Committee is in town to discuss recent events. Dr. Bera, Congressman for District Number 7. Doctor, nice to have you here.
Glad to be back, Walt.
So what happens now? That's kind of a broad question. We kind of all know what's happening. What's next?
You know, we've been looking at this for a long time in the Foreign Affairs Committee, and there's no easy answer with the chaos in Syria, with ISIS really wanted to hurt Western powers, certainly if they can hurt us here at home. So we've got to acknowledge that people are afraid and so forth. But let's not let the terrorists win and change our values as Americans, right? I mean, we're going to stand tall. We're a compassionate country. We still are going to accept the most vulnerable refugees, orphans, widows, and we should continue to do so. But we've got to be vigilant fighting back. We've got to win the propaganda war. They're using social media very well. They're, even if we can kill ISIS fighters over there, they still recruit about 1,200 individuals every month.
It's amazing.
So,
Are Americans that are opposed to the Syrian refugees opposed to it on that, or they're opposed to it because there may be one or two bad guys slipping through? I mean, I think that there's a difference there.
People are afraid and so forth, but the administration says they're doing a thorough vetting process. Let's just take that next step and have the FBI and the intelligence communities sign off and say we've done that background. But a 3-year-old orphan is not a security threat. So, let's look at the most vulnerable populations. Let's look at some of the widows of fighters that have actually worked with us and helped us, and let's prioritize some of those vulnerable populations. It shouldn't take 18 to 24 months to process a three-month-old.
I'm glad you're here because when Paris was attacked, the natural reaction of any country is, and to their people is, we're going to go get those guys. We're going to get them hard and fast. We've got to answer to our constituents. But the bombings that went on of the ISIS training grounds and ISIS munitions, what exactly does that do? Because I'm assuming ISIS goes underground knowing that France is coming, or any country.
They do. This is going to be a long-term conflict. Certainly we want to fight them over there. We want to battle them over there. But as I've been saying in committee, and where I've criticized the administration, is if we're winning over there, but they're still recruiting these foreign fighters, and they're winning the propaganda war, they're winning the war on social media and the internet, we have to counteract that narrative. We have to push back on that narrative to stop those recruits before they go over there.
How do you stop it, though, when you have the situation like in Mali? You have pockets of like 20 members. It's like a mini war. How do you know that they're coming? How do you contain them? It's like mini armies, and there's so many of them.
I mean, the bigger threat is, if they're already talking to someone who's on the internet on a jihadi website who's already here in the United States, right? I mean, and it's that lone wolf. So this is an intelligence war. This is a counterintelligence, counterterrorism war, and we have to be prepared that we have to offer that counter-narrative. It's not going to be easy.
Will this continue to go on as long as there's a war in Syria? Once that's settled, will things calm down? Or is it those pockets, Syria, Iraq, Iran, are they just tired of us, as they say, meddling in their business?
I think it's a small handful of folks that want to create chaos. That's what terrorists do. This isn't the Islamic world. This is a group of folks that want to create terror, make us afraid, and change who we are as Americans. And if we change our values, then we lose. We've got to be vigilant. We've got to be strong. We should make sure we're screening folks. But let's not change. We're a compassionate nation. We've always accepted the oppressed.
Do you get in trouble when you go against the president? I mean, you're a Democrat. I mean, does one of his people call you up and go, the president doesn't appreciate you going against him on this particular matter?
This shouldn't be about Democrats and Republicans. This should be about Americans coming together to protect our homeland, to protect our values and our way of life, and then also to protect the freedoms and the values that we stand for as a democracy.
Are we safe?
We've got to continue to stay vigilant. I would say that I worry about how ISIS and these terrorists use the internet and social media to recruit folks, and we've got to monitor those websites. We've got to make sure we're pushing back.
Isn't it?
I think so.
Is intercepting messages and having anonymous on our side with screwing up all their Twitter accounts. At least they say that.
That's what they said they did.
That's what they say. Dr. Bera, nice to have you here.
Thank you.
Stop by any time.